Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is I, the Podfather, your reigning, defending, undisputed Bulletcast champion. I did it again, ladies and gentlemen. The title, it stays with its rightful recipient. You know, like I don't know what to say about it. It's just I keep doing it at these big shows. Like it just keeps happening for me. You know. I mean, it's really that simple. I win at SummerSlam. I retain it All In, the biggest independent show ever, and on the day at the event in where we celebrate the devil's favorite structure, the blood cage, Hell in the Cell, I retain too. It's inevitable. This championship reign it's gonna last a very long time. You know, hopefully I'm looking to get another 100-day reign. Because that'd be amazing. It truly would. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, enough of the jibber jabber. I'm here to bring you the instant analysis from WWE's Hell in the Cell card tonight. Yeah, I watched it by myself. I was kind of dozing off here and there, I'm not going to lie. The Podfather worked earlier today, you know, had to make an income to buy all the equipment that provides you people with this PEA, this performance enhancing audio. But, you know, without further ado, I mean, let's really jump right into it. So, the kickoff show, it was very short, it felt very fast-paced. Only had one match, which was the New Day defending their WWE World Tag Team Championships! In reality, they are the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. The New Day defendants successfully retain against Rusev Day. This was cool, you know, it had a funny opener with, the New Day trying to mock whatever what's his name? Jesus. Aiden English would say. I thought that was funny. It just their personalities clicked, you know, so going with the match, Aiden English was the recipient of a hot tag, which not only did inject some energy into this sparse of a crowd, which yeah, it didn't really look that hot. But you know, it looked also to telegraph the finish. Instead, after English, he kicked out of an elevated double stomp by Kofi Kingston. Rusev Day took over outside the ring by taking down Kingston and Big E. I think one of the obvious high point of the match, Aiden English, he puts Kofi Kingston in the accolade, and he's trying for it. You know, he thinks he can get Kofi to tap out. Rusev comes on the apron to try to get tagged in. He doesn't have it. He's not having it. He says, "No, I got this." And then, what's his name? Rusev. Geez, I'm so tired. I'm forgetting everybody's name. Rusev. He comes into the ring, tries to make a save for Aiden English, gets thrown to the outside. Kofi Kingston hits Trouble in Paradise on Aiden English. 1, 2, 3. New Day defeats Rusev Day. The Battle of the Days was very interesting. You know, like I said on Friday, hope they get a spot on Days of Our Lives in the near future. Because that'd be very, very nice. No, but seriously, the match was fine. I give it a C. It was, you know, for the first piece of action the live crowd saw, it was fine for what they got. You know, it was nothing really thrilling, nothing extremely exciting. It wasn't terrible, you know, but it was alright. It was decent, as I like to say. Decent way to start off the crowd. Alright, now the first match on the main card was the Hell in a Cell match between Randall Keith Orton and Jeffrey Nero Hardy. Jeff Hardy promised to render Randy Orton obsolete, but that was not the case, because Randy Orton won. He defeated Jeff Hardy in Hell in the Cell. This was seriously, they did something in this match where, I don't know, you could call it special, I don't know if that's the word. They had a main event level match, really. You know, people thought this was going to be a dud. They were thinking Jeff was going to jump off of the cell. He didn't, but my prediction, or what I said on Friday's episode of the Bulletcast, that's basically kind of what he did going into the finish of the match. So Maybe he listened and got the idea from me. You never know. No, but really, this match it was good. Uh, Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton were beating each other with Jeff Hardy's studded belt. You could see the blood and the welts on those guys, especially Randy Orton's back. It was just blistering and bleeding. Well, not blistering, but it was bleeding in spots because of the diamond studs, and it was crazy. I think the besides the finish, I think the other part of the match where we're all gonna remember Randy Orton getting a toolbox from underneath the ring and grabbing a screwdriver, a Phillips head, I might add, and putting it inside the ear, the gauge hole of Jeff Hardy, and just twisting it. And oh, my mother and I, we were so uncomfortable. Like I'm getting nauseous, kind of just thinking about it. Like that's new level of ape shit that Randy Orton went on Jeff Hardy's earlobe, and I can't unsee it. Like that's a gift that's gonna haunt me. It's just ingrained in my mind. It was crazy. Yeah, but I mean, it was cool, man. It basically turned into a TLC match inside of the cell, which is always fun. Jeff Hardy hits the Twisted Fate on Randy Orton, lays the chair down on Randy Orton, hits the Swanton Bomb. Randy kicks out. Randy didn't even attempt an RKO, which was, I love the fact that he's not doing it because when we see it again, whenever we do, it will mean something. Absence truly does make the heart grow fonder. Yeah, so Randy Orton kicks out of the Twist of Fate Swanton Bomb combination. Jeff feels like he has to do more, so he's beating up on Randy a lot, and he gets out two ladders, and he lay a table, and he lays Randy Orton on that table. And so Jeff climbs up the ladder, and he's trying to like leapfrog over it and do a leg drop like he's done in the past, but the ladder he didn't have enough room to jump, so he climbs up the taller ladder, and he hooks onto the cell, the very top of it on the inside, and he's kind of monkey barring it like I was talking about on Friday's episode of the Bullet Cast, and he's swinging. I thought he was going to go for a swanton, but I guess not. He's swinging, and I don't know. Randy, if this was time to where Randy was supposed to move, like, he moved way too early. Like, Jeff had, like, two more swings before he fell. They can say, like, he lost his grip. I even think they said that, but, like, when he's coming down, when you see him falling down, you can move out of the way pretty quickly. Just roll over off the table, But yeah, so that leads to the finish of the match. The ref says he's hurt, and Randy's like, I don't care if he's hurt, do your damn job, and he makes the ref count 3. Randy Orton wins, and he is victorious. He's not glorious. I mean, actually, Randy Orton is pretty glorious, but he was victorious. Alright, I gave it a B. I thought it was fine, Congratulations, Randy Orton, picking up a win inside Hell in a Cell. He has now surpassed Shawn Michaels. They were both tied at winning 3 Hell in a Cells. Orton, he's been in 7, and he has won 4 of them, so congrats, man. Alright. Let's talk about the cell itself. I don't know. I saw mixed reactions on social media. Was it kind of hard to see through? Yes, absolutely it was. I don't believe they should have messed with the cell in the first place. But WWE, they're trying to do something new with it. I completely understand. It's a new era. It's a new day. Yes, it is. TNA, they went out and said, this looks like their what was it? Lethal Lockdown, which their Lethal Lockdown was like poles, and it wasn't like fence. It was just like their Lethal Lockdown structure it was way harder to see than it was for this Hell in a Cell. Honestly, you kind of get used to it a little bit throughout the match and in the other Hell in a Cell match that proceeded later on in the night. So it's really not that big of a deal. Stop complaining about a color of a cage. Like, come on, guys. We just have a blue steel cage. Jesus, like, let's move on. Alright, speaking of moving on, we have to move on to our new SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Becky Balboa. Becky Lynch defeats Charlotte. She wins the title. I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. My jaw kind of, it didn't like drop, but I was like, what? I was like, yo, they just put it on Becky? Brandon, he beat me there. He did beat me there. So let's really break down the match. Alright. The match began with an abundance of mat wrestling as neither woman truly gained the upper hand for a significant period of time. Lynch worked over Flair's arm, and Flair did a great job selling it throughout. Flair attempted her moonsault too early after Lynch dodged it and attempted to lock in a submission. Flair lifted her up for a fantastic sit-down powerbomb. Fans were somewhat split early, but clearly started favoring Lynch as the match proceeded. Like Flair, Lynch missed a high-risk maneuver of her own, but quickly escaped the Boston Crab she was locked into. Lynch drove Flair's shoulder into the ring post outside the ring and reversed a pinning combination into the disarm her. But Flair escaped under the bottom rope to force the break. They obviously have really great chemistry because they are friends, or they were friends. They were friends. So yeah, I mean, Charlotte and Becky, they really work well together. It's always nice when there's that moment in the match where the two competitors or the competitors in the match are all laying down, and then you get that kind of wide shot of the crowd and they're applauding. They're obviously going to chant, "This is awesome," but I don't know why. But yeah, it's nice when you have two really great workers that are having this awesome of a match. All right, so moving on from that, Flair sat stunned as Lynch celebrated her title win after unfortunately being caught with the power slam in a sudden victory by Becky Lynch. So yeah, I didn't know if she kind of kneed her in the face or what. But if that power slam is the new finish, I don't blame her. Becky went on to say, "You're not gonna take my moment," and she walked out. Charlotte, she really looked stunned, like, "Wow, she got me." I didn't expect them to put it on her. I thought, put the title on Becky at Evolution. That was my scenario for it. But I'm not in the writing room. I'm not booking the damn territory. I don't have the book for these things. So, congratulations to Becky Lynch, SmackDown Live Women's Champion again. She lost her way after she lost that title to Alexa almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, so this was really good for her. I'm excited to see where she goes next. What happens on SmackDown? I'm really excited for SmackDown this Tuesday. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have the Raw. Oh, by the way, I gave Becky and Charlotte a B. We have the Raw Tag Team Championships. Dolph Ziggler, the show off, and I think they're calling this guy the Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre. They successfully defend the Raw Tag Team Championships against the Architect, the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, and the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Oh my god, this match was amazing. The sequence between McIntyre and Rollins and Ziggler, Ambrose thrown in the fray, it was, oh my god, it was so sweet. It was amazing. I really, really love this. Alright, so let's break this down. The Shield members enter separately. McIntyre called out Ambrose shortly after the match started, and the two enforcers went at it early. Yeah, they really are like enforcers. They have that. Well, obviously McIntyre is the bigger one, but Ambrose he has a solid build, but he's like the enforcer role where he wants to take things kind of into his own hands, and I'm fine with that. So yeah, McIntyre called out Ambrose shortly after the match started, and then the two enforcers went at it early, with Ziggler and Rollins also primarily working the tandem. Yeah, Rollins and Ziggler, they were really working the whole match, which I'm fine with. They're both great workers, have amazing chemistry together. Ziggler and McIntyre worked tirelessly to single out Rollins and prevent the tag. Even when Rollins did tag Ambrose, the team had the referee distracted, so he missed it. A blockbuster from Rollins cleared the way for the hot tag to Ambrose, who stomped a mud hole. Let me rephrase that. Who stomped a mud hole and Drew McIntyre. There we go. I had to throw some theatrics on it. It can't sound monotone. Alright, but could not get the fall. Ambrose threw McIntyre into the ring post and Ziggler into the inside barricade, but got caught in a high-risk maneuver and was thrown belly to belly into the turnbuckles. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, so Rollins hits an amazing Falcon Arrow and gets a 2.8. Gets a 2.8 cover. That's not how I'm going to word this, what I'm trying to say. He hits a Falcon's Arrow on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler kicks out at 2.8, 2.8. 2 waves. That's how close it was to being over. Forgive my math comparisons right now, or math analogies, or explanation of 2.8. I am very, very tired. But I got to do this for you guys. I love the podcast. I love what I do. All right. Rollins called for the stomp. Ziggler avoided it. Rollins ducked away from Ziggler's attempt to replicate the move. The two then reestablished the rolling pin combination, which ended with both men standing and Ziggler hitting the zigzag, and Rollins kicked out at 2/9. Yes, back to the math. Alright, as the champions attempted the Claymore zigzag finisher, Ambrose pulled Ziggler out of the ring. Rollins hit a super kick on McIntyre, followed with a frog splash. McIntyre kicked out at another 2.9. All right, an attempted double suplex by the Shield teammates was thwarted as Ziggler also avoided a high-risk maneuver by Rollins to the outside. A couple blind tags were made, and it left Rollins and Ziggler as two legal men. Rollins was attempting his suplex Falcon's Arrow combination move on Ziggler when McIntyre runs in, hits the Claymore, and boom, 1, 2, 3. Ziggler covers Rollins, and 2/3 of the Dogs of War retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. I gave this match an A. I thought it was great. Tag team wrestling, like this is what it's all about, man. You know, I know we've been talking bad about the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, it's like the B team was there and the Revival. They haven't really been up to par like they were a few years ago. But this tag team wrestling, there's so much you can do with 4 people, and plus the false finishes are unbelievable. I love a good false finish. All right. I absolutely do. I love that suspense where like it's over, it has to be over, and it's not. The kicking out of like 2/9 or 2.9 or whatever you want to say. Like it's just it adds something to wrestling, and I love that so much. But great job to all these guys. I really do appreciate them. All right, next up, the WWE Championship. It is the top prize in the game. It is the #1 championship in this business. Sorry, Kenny, that thing you have on your waist isn't really that important. All right, moving on. The phenomenal AJ Styles retains his WWE Championship against the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. This match was really good, man. This match was good. There was blood from AJ. You know, it was hard hitting. It felt like a war. You know, it felt like AJ wasn't just fighting for the championship that he holds dearly to his heart. He was fighting for his family. He was fighting for Wendy. He was fighting for his daughter. You know, he's like, I'm their daddy. I'm the husband. My children's father. You're not gonna be any of those things. So yeah, I mean, before this match even came on, they played the entire Night AJ segment, which I said needs to become an audiobook on iTunes or something so I can buy it. If WWE, if they decide to put that on the WWE shop, that book, I am buying it because that book is, oh my god, that story is phenomenal, pun intended. Alright, so an angered AJ Styles attacks Samoa Joe immediately after the bell, taking him off his game and allowing Joe to get the early upper hand. Styles also tweaked a hamstring on the onset, and Joe used that to ground the aerial artist. Yes. Alright, Joe threw a thunderous forearm to a tope suicida to flatten AJ Styles and continued the onslaught from there. Yeah, they just were really going back and forth, trading a lot of their moves. Not a lot of the sequences we saw when they were in TNA, but you know, it's still really good wrestling because these guys are veterans and they are truly some of the best in the world. Alright, Styles continued his onslaught from there. A moonsault into a reverse DDT gave Styles a breather, but Joe got on his knees up on a springboard moonsault. Powerbomb Styles rolled him into a boxing crab, locked in an STF, and then applied a crossface until Styles broke the submission on the ropes. Styles eventually hit an incredible spinning rack powerbomb on Joe, and a roar hit when AJ hit that springboard 450, and he almost got him. Joe kicked out. Joe's kickouts are so great because they're part of that amazing false finish thing, like I'm talking about. You know, like when the ref's hand is like gently touching that mat for that third call or third hit, and it just doesn't get the job done. I think that's awesome. I really, really do. All right, Styles gets slingshot into what am I trying to say? Let me retract my steps. All right, Samoa Joe throws a massive lariat into AJ Styles, turning him inside out. Styles tried to roll Joe up into a Styles Clash, but Joe booted him away and nailed the champion with an Enzuigiri. Alright, Styles hit the Pele kick on a wounded Joe, but Joe was sound enough to reverse a phenomenal forearm into a coquina clutch. Styles attempted to reach the ropes, doesn't happen, and then Joe takes him back to finish the job. AJ gets enough momentum to roll, and while AJ's still in the clutch, he's bent over backwards. 1, 2, 3. He beats Samoa Joe. But what we didn't see, they showed a different camera angle. While the ref was counting 3, Joe felt AJ Styles tap out. Yeah, so that's what we didn't see. They played it back, and then there's a segment later on in the show where the match was already advertised, but I guess you gotta advertise it on TV. Yeah, so Samoa Joe brings that to Paige's attention, and then Joe said, "I want him again. No disqualifications, no countouts, no excuses." Paige says he gets his rematch like 3 weeks in Australia. So this show is shaping up to be really, really good. I gave this match a B. Great stuff from Joe and AJ. I think Joe gets the title in Australia. I do. I think AJ's 300 plus day reign comes to an end in Australia. That's going to be very, very interesting. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, but congratulations to those guys. They really, really told a great story. All right, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella were unsuccessful in defeating the It couple of Mike Mizanin and Maurice. This match really, it was better than what I thought it was going to be. I gave it a C plus. Yeah, so they played video packages of what's been going on in the last couple of weeks on SmackDown. Miz and Maurice attacking Bryan and Brie. Bryan and Brie kind of getting one up on Miz and Maurice a little bit. They've been playing all that stuff. So yes, Maurice comes out first with her own music, and then the Miz comes out. Then Brie does the same thing, and Brie mode is just awesome. Actually, I've heard that live. I was actually at Hell in a Cell 2014, and that song live is just peachy. Really is. Alright, yeah, and then Daniel Bryan comes out. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are wearing the, I guess they're Seahawks colors. I know Baby Huey from 1077 The Bone. Go check out his podcast with Bimbo Jimbo in the Click. Yeah, I know he referred to it as like Sprite colors, or at least his brother said it was Sprite colors. So that's funny. Every time I see them, I think of like a can of Sprite. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so let's get into the match. Bryan and Miz did the heavy lifting throughout this match, as one would expect, with positions near replicas to the prior match at SummerSlam. Bryan missing a diving headbutt that created the need for a tag, but when he did, Maurice chose not to enter. She dropped off the ring apron as Miz took a beating from Brie Bella until she slid between his legs and bashed Maurice's head into the announce table. Yeah, she was bashing her head into the announce table pretty heavy. All right. Bryan attacked the Miz and screamed that no one touches his wife. Bryan and Bella then hit a synchronized yes kicks on the It couple, and they simultaneously rolled out of the ring and headed for the back. Bryan and Brie caught them. Brie throws Maurice into the Miz, who got knocked off the ring apron, but Maurice reverses the pinning combination by grabbing Brie Bella's tights, keeping her down for the pinfall. Whereas you can argue that SummerSlam match underdelivered, and this match kind of overdelivered, and was quite entertaining at all times. So yeah, I gave it a C plus. It was cool, man. It was fine. It was whatever. I said on the podcast, Miz needs to keep winning somehow. Just keep getting one up and over on Daniel Bryan. And now they have that match in Australia. Winner becomes number one contender for the WWE title. You could do Joe versus Daniel. That'd be great, sure. But a pure babyface AJ just overcomes this really heated rivalry with Samoa Joe. And if Joe doesn't win at Australia, don't worry, he will get his time. He will get his time, believe me. Going up against a heel Miz to say, why isn't the WWE Championship in the main event? When I was champion, that title was always in the main event. It was in the main event of WrestleMania 27 when I beat John Cena. You haven't main evented a WWE pay-per-view as champion in far too long. I brought prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. Now I will bring prestige back to the WWE title. That's the way Miz and AJ can go. And then Miz, oh my god. There's a WWE title match advertised for SmackDown 1000. Raw 1000, Miz won the Intercontinental title. Raw 25, Miz won the Intercontinental title. There was another Raw special where Miz won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm just saying. Oh no, he won. I'm sorry. Raw 1000, he won the Intercontinental Championship. SmackDown 900 wins the Intercontinental Championship. Raw 25 wins the Intercontinental Championship. SmackDown 1000, The Miz becomes WWE Champion. I'm calling it right now. What is it? Sunday, September 16th at 8:41 p.m. I am saying The Miz will win the WWE Championship at SmackDown 1000. Believe me. Like my boy Drake said, believe me. Believe me. Alright, enough of that. Enough of all that. Alright, yeah, so I gave this match a C+. It was nothing special. It was interesting. Alright, next up, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. She defended successfully her Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. I gave this an A-. This whole thing, you know. Ronda, she was kind of working the rib angle a little bit. But, you know, it's funny because she has a certain charisma about her, and she just keeps getting better and better every time she has a match. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It really is. You know, she just has this charisma about her when she's slapping her shoulders, like, come on, let's go. Like, she that's like, I don't want to say it's the equivalent of Kurt Angle taking off the straps and like let's do this, you know, like let's get it on or something. But like it's truly amazing that she's come this far. All right, so Rousey's first attempt to lock in the armbar on Bliss was thwarted by James as she pulled the challenger outside of the ring. Distracted by the duo, Ronda Rousey later dodged a diving Bliss and threw her out on the outside to take out her friends. Bliss pulled Rousey's hair to snap her ribs onto the ring ropes and attacked the champion's midsection with strikes of the abdominal stretch in an extended burst of offense. Yeah, I don't like how Alexa got that much offense on Ronda, but you know, it's whatever. Alright, so Rousey knocked James off the ring apron when the two collided. And then Rousey knocks Mickie James off the ring apron, throws her into the LED post or whatever. And then Bliss and Ronda go for that dive, the two-person running crossbody spot. So you know that's okay. Builds time. You know, adds to the rib injury. You know that we were talking about. Eventually, you know, Ronda does get the armbar in, and Bliss taps immediately. But you know that's fine. It's whatever. Ronda, you know, her selling is getting better and better and better. I have high hopes for Ronda Rousey. You know. She's teaming with the Bellas at WWE at the Super Showdown show against Riot Squad. Hopefully the Bellas turn on her. Yeah, and then you'd be like, why would they do that? And especially with Brie, how she's doing this stuff with her sister, but then she's doing completely different stuff with Daniel Bryan. It really doesn't make any sense, but you know, it's whatever. Honestly, it's honestly whatever. I guess she's just a free agent. And Nikki Bella, I guess she's just a free agent also. Because she was on SmackDown. She just moves over to Raw. Whatever. But congratulations, Ronda Rousey. She keeps getting better and better. Working with Natty's it's really helping her out, man. It is really helping her out. Alright, so the main event of this was the WWE Universal Championship match. Braun Strowman going up against Roman Reigns. Reigns defending the title here. Alright, so let's start. First of all, I gave this a B. I gave this whole little thing with the Roman match. I gave it a B. I'll say that right now. Yeah, so you know, Braun and Roman, they start off pretty physical. Slaps, punches, Superman punches, multiple Superman punches. They just got really physical, you know. They had a blood feud. They've battled in a steel cage, an ambulance match, and all these other crazy types of matches. So why not do it in the Hell in a Cell, you know? There was one point in time where Braun Strowman hits a move on Roman Reigns, and I kind of thought it was 3 the way Mick Foley did it. I don't know if that was truly a mistake on Foley's part or if he was really just playing up the crowd. Yes, Mick Foley was a special guest referee. Why? 20 years of Hell in a Cell. Even though that anniversary of that was like in June, but who's counting? Who's counting? Yeah. So that was fine. Strowman. It gets pretty physical. Roman hits a drive-by. Strowman throws steel steps into Roman's face. Strowman hits. I can't think right now. Jesus. Strowman hits Roman Reigns with a running power slam. Roman kicks out. Roman spears Braun through a table, and Braun kicks out of that. And then our attention is diverted to Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler trying to get into the cage, and that doesn't happen. So Ambrose and Rollins make their way out there too, and they're all fighting each other around the cage now. And then they all climb up to the top, and they're all fighting on top of the cage. I'm talking about Rollins, Ziggler, McIntyre, and Ambrose. All four of those guys are fighting on the cage. And then Ziggler and Rollins are trying to climb down. They headbutt each other. They throw each other's heads into the cage, and then they both fall through an announce table each. Kind of like what Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins did Hell in a Cell 2014, where I was in attendance in Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center. So yeah, after that, because Roman and Strowman, they were just down for that while all that was going on. We got the shock. We got a really big shock. Brock Lesnar's music hit, and oh my god. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, I was legit shocked. I did not know what to do. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I guess Brock Lesnar, I guess this is what he told him. Yes, I will see you on Sunday. Yeah, I was truly surprised. Paul Heyman comes out there. Brock, he looks a little leaner, has a beard. Heyman said, you don't want this man to hurt you. Unlock this door. Brock just kicks the door in, throws it into the ring, hits an F5 on Strowman, hits an F5 on Roman, onto Strowman. So I can't wait to see what happens on Raw tomorrow with Brock Lesnar. The match ends in a no contest, which that doesn't make any sense because it's Hell in a Cell. Why couldn't they pin each other? Even after that. Overall, I give the whole show a B. I give it a B minus, actually. It was fun, it was a fun show. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it was good. It was a solid show, I'm not gonna crap on it. It was okay. I enjoyed it. Excuse me. I can't wait to see what happens, tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. It's gonna be something special. Hopefully we get some more of these moments in WWE. They are truly something special. Alright, congratulations to all the men and women who competed on this card. I'm proud of all of you. You guys did this. This was a great show, I'm not going to lie. From New Day to Rusev Day, Orton and Jeff Hardy, Becky taking the title off of Charlotte, Dolph and Drew keeping the Raw Tag titles from Ambrose and Rollins, Styles retaining the WWE title against Samoa Joe, and Miz and Maurice defeating Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, Ronda Rousey keeping the Raw Women's title from Alexa Bliss, and then Roman Reigns retaining his Universal Championship in a no contest inside a Hell in a Cell, which has no rules, against Braun Strowman with the return of Brock Lesnar. I'd missed Brock for a little bit, I'm not going to lie, I was really happy to see him tonight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Hell in a Cell Instant Analysis 2018 for WWE pay-per-view. Simple B-average pay-per-view, nothing special. Monday Night Raw is going to be exciting tomorrow. I really do hope. Give me something strong, Vince. Give me something strong. SmackDown Live, have no problems with that. Next Friday, the Bullet Cast, episode 86. We're going to be talking a whole bunch of stuff. Tuesdays Under the Radar is coming out. And I will be at the APW show this coming Friday in Daly City. It's #Ballin'. MVP will be there. Famous Dick wrestler Joey Ryan will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, goodbye and good night, bang.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.